What's good, family? What is good, y'all? It's the homie Big Vic. We back in here with another live. I'm gonna let y'all guys come in. See the title. Early access is back in effect. We are back. What's good? What's good, y'all? Let's see what's going on. Mm, dun, dun, dun. What's good, people? What's good? Shout out, shout yourself out when you come through. Who's in the building? Who we got in the building right now? Who we got in the building? Dominica, what's up? I hope I'm saying your name right. Dominica. Dominica. I hope I'm saying it right. Don't kill me. What's good? What's good? We got early access back, y'all. I gotta tell y'all how I'm feeling about this relay early access now. Well, I ran a postal route one stop last night. Gotta tell y'all how it felt. I said it wrong every time. Oh man. How Dominique I'm saying Dominica, Dominica, Dominique. Did I say it right? Hola, hola, Jamil Gats. Hola, my friend. Hola. Yo, we are back. We got that early access again. But I guess it's better to have it than not have it at all. Dominica. All right, now I got you. Dominica, I got you. Mike asked, did I lease on to another company before your authority matured? Absolutely not. I didn't lease on to anybody. I wrote it out. I did it myself. Did it myself. I just rolled with Amazon until the authority got, a little season under his belt. 6 months. And 2 more days I'll be 6 months active. 6 months. 6 months. Yeah, so I just kind of rolled it out, man. I did it I thugged it out. What's good, everybody? Who we got in the building? I see 12 heads in here so far. Who we got in the building? Shout out. Where your city at? Y'all know I might tap into the cities to see what's what, to see where the money at. Oh, congrats. Congrats. Dominica start CDL training on August 23rd. That's what's good. That's what's good. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Put somebody in that box truck. Put somebody in that box truck. ATL in the building. The city where traffic never stops. Texas in the building. Down Rico. What's good, family? Yeah, so we back in here with this early access. The crazy thing about having early access is a lot of times you can miss loads. I was on the phone chopping it up with a couple of people, and I missed a 400. The load I love to see popped up, and I missed it because I was on the phone dropping some gems for somebody on the trucking business or the box truck business, and I missed $467. So you caught a load going to Charlotte without the early access? What load did you catch? 88. What's good? 88 Mo Keys. What's good? Every time I see a producer name, I feel bad because I haven't dropped a beat video. But I got some NPC stuff coming up. What else do I have coming up? I have another what is it? Another chords video coming up. So I got some music stuff coming up too, y'all. Got some music stuff coming up. Canada is in the building. That's what's up. Kedar Ali. Hope I said that right. Kedar Ali, Canada. I was out in Toronto. Toronto is beautiful. I love it out there. Oh, you caught a load off DAT. That's what's up. You listen. I like that. I like that you listen. Got that getting that DAT money. That's what's up. That's what's up. I got it right. I'm glad I didn't butcher it, Kida. Yeah, so we got early access back, y'all. We have early access back. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I ran a load last night for Amazon. I ran a postal route. And while I was at the facility, so the load was paying me like $3 and some change per mile. So it was only 60 something miles. Like I went to Charlotte to load the truck up. I had to run to Spartanburg and drop off. I got there like an hour early, loaded the truck up. There was a lot of box trucks out there last night, like waiting in line to get through the gate. So I loaded the truck up early, got to, while I was in the facility, there was like, I talked to, when you go in, you have to talk to logistics. They said I had like 13 pallets. They was going to break one of the pallets down and put them in the Gaylord because it wasn't that many boxes on one of the pallets. So they broke it down and added it to another one of the Gaylords in there. But as I was loading the truck, I'm like, yo, I haven't done this in over 6-7 weeks. As far as like running postal routes, and it felt so weird not running the postal route, but actually loading the truck up when I was over the road and I didn't have to do that type of work. Like I didn't have to load the truck up. I didn't have to go get pallets, load them, continuously load them onto the truck. And I'm like, yo, OTR has me a little spoiled. Or just being able to book with brokers, kind of getting pretty much the money that I want to get, booking those loads or close to what I want to get, and doing less work other than driving and not really having to touch the freight. So going back to Amazon Relay and doing a postal route had me kind of like in my feelings like, yo, I really don't want to be loading up this truck like this, to be honest with you. I was like, yo, this don't feel good no more. It didn't feel good to me, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, I was like, man, I'd rather had caught a load like coming out of Columbia for Amazon. The loads that I like to do are usually they load my truck up and I'll go to Charlotte and unload the truck. Or they'll load my truck up, which is mainly in the daytime. They'll load the truck up here in Columbia and they will unload my truck at the KCLT, which is the airport in Charlotte. So those are usually the loads that I like to run. So if I'm here Thursday, or Friday, I'm going to see what loads pop up on the load board to see if those same type of loads pop up that I was running before I lost my early access. Because I really just like to run day routes. I don't really like to do postal routes, to be honest with you. Like, it's just, I think it is too much manual work, and then you have to drive after you do all of that. That's just my opinion. Like, I was doing it, I was thugging it out because I know I didn't have to do any negotiating with Amazon in the beginning. But like I said, it's a great stepping stone for people that just got their authority and want to just kind of get the feel of driving and, just being able to make some money on a consistent basis. That's the thing about Amazon. Usually, if you're in a good area, you can make consistent money, with them. But me now, I done got a little spoiled. I think I just got a little spoiled from driving over the road and making more money, of course, and not having to do as much loading and unloading the truck. 9 times out of 10, I'm not even loading. I'm just back there looking to make sure my pallet jack and everything gets put back on my truck after my truck is unloaded when I do over the road stuff. So I'm actually leaving out tomorrow. I'll be in Maryland I'll be dropping off in Maryland on Wednesday, leaving out of Anderson, South Carolina, tomorrow morning. So I'll be hanging out in Maryland for a day. I'm going to see what I can catch tomorrow out of Maryland. Well, book tomorrow out of Maryland. Probably take me up to Connecticut. I'm not sure. Or back down here, Whichever way the money takes me, that's where I'm going to go. So yeah, that's what we got going on, y'all. But we got that early access back. So while I'm up there in the city, I'm gonna see what Amazon got up there, and if I have the available hours, on my ELD, I will see if I can do some daytime, maybe something in the daytime from facility to facility, because a lot of them loads up in the city be like $4 a mile and up sometimes, and I may be able to catch some early access stuff and get a nice little lick while I'm in the city. All right, what I did, y'all. I done missed some stuff. I done missed some questions. Yeah, Butter Man, what's good, family? Yeah, I'm back with the early access, y'all. I'm back with the early access. Detroit is in the building. Who I miss? Chucking and Jays, what's good? I haven't been missing much. All right. Let's see. Detroit in the building. Yep, back with the early access. When dealing with Amazon, do you unload the freight yourself? And can it be very heavy? We'll put that up there. So Brian asks, when dealing with Amazon, do you unload the freight yourself? And can it be very heavy? So the freight's not really heavy because you're using the pallet jack. So you really won't feel the weight like that because the pallet jack is doing all the work for you. Other than that, yes, it depends on if you're doing anything with the post office. You're going to be loading up the truck at the facility in Charlotte or wherever your domicile is at. You'll be loading the truck up, and you'll be unloading when you get to the post office. So one of the postal workers was cool last night. He grabbed the pallet jack and was getting some of the he was scanning and getting pallets off my truck. I had like 12 pallets on the truck and some loose boxes last night. So yeah, if you get a cool postal worker, they may help you unload some of the pallets off your truck. But it's not heavy because the pallet jack does most of the work for you. Kadar said he got his authority to run the US. Just signed up for Amazon Relay, but I'm old school. I got a Freightliner M2, 30-foot, and 2 tractors. But I love the videos. I appreciate that, Kadar. Appreciate that. Say old school with it. Said what's the I done missed something. I skipped over something real quick. What I missed? Said what's the loads called that don't require you to load? And what's the ones called that require you to load them? So it's a good question. So the loads, it just depends on the facility. So if you see like they have different, I'll kind of show you. So you see here, I'm gonna show you the screen real quick. Let's look at my screen. I'll show you my screen right here. Let's go bigger. And then let me hide that. So if you can see here, you'll see like CLT9. See how you see here, CLT9? When you see the numbers look like this, they have a number in front of them. That's going to be an Amazon facility, right? But when you see it says PX, and numbers, and then the city and state, that's going to be a post office. As you can see, this one, well, it's gone now, but let's go. Let me do 250-mile radius. So here, this is in Kentucky. See how the numbers are right here and the letters? That's going to be a facility. More than likely, you're going to be loading up the truck here. Anytime you're doing night or early morning postal routes, you are loading the truck and you are unloading it when you get to a post office. So this is how it looks. Now, so look at here. IND5 Plainfield, Indianapolis, and ORD9. So that's going to be facility to facility right here. That's how they look. When you see PX, that's going to be a post office. Anytime you see it look like this, a number and a number with the city in the front of it, that's going to be facility to facility. So sometimes you never know at certain facilities if you're going to be loading, or they're going to be loading. They'll tell you that when you get to the facility. So it just depends on which facility you're going to. So I hope I answered that question for you. Let's see what I missed. Andrew, appreciate it. Jamil, I appreciate it. Appreciate it. They picked up Chad said he picked up a load in Raleigh, and I'm here in Atlanta a lot of miles today. He said you did a run from Raleigh to ATL. I hope that load paid at least $600 something. At least from Raleigh to Atlanta. Yeah, I gotta get paid for something like that. Yeah, so Aramis, I hope I said that right. Aramis Stinson said, am I gonna do Amazon while doing OTR? So if I'm out and I have available hours, I probably would try and see if I could run an Amazon load. But I have to make sure I have the available time too, because I don't want to get caught out there with DT with my pants down, trying to make more money, getting greedy, and I don't have no available hours, and then I get stung and get put out of service because I want to try to get some money off the clock. Said, I keep hearing that the money is out west. I'm trying to. Dominica said she keep hearing the money is out west. That she's trying to go way out west too. Yeah, the money is definitely out west. So I like doing. Of course, as you can see, when I do go out a lot of times, I like going from like here, South Carolina, like going from South Carolina over to Tennessee, Ohio, Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, all of that going straight up into Minneapolis, Missouri. Like I like all of that right there. It's always, like I'm telling y'all, it's always money in those areas, always loads. Even going to the city, like up north. So I'm going. This is gonna be my first time going up in that direction, especially past North Carolina, or Virginia. So I'm gonna hit Maryland tomorrow. DC in the building. What's good? Congrats on early access. Appreciate that. What's the furthest you're deadhead? So the furthest I would deadhead, it depends on where I'm going. So if I'm trying to get home and there's a load waiting for me 3 hours in the direction that I gotta go anyway to get home, I'll deadhead that 3 hours just to pick up that load so it can pay me to get me back home. But typically depends on where I'm at. Always put a radius of about 150 miles of deadhead in to pick up a load. I like to be as close as possible when I deadhead, but if not, I went a couple hours out. I've deadheaded a couple hours out because the load was paying good, but I also would factor in how much I would need to make that load happen, to make it make sense for me. if I'm negotiating with a broker. I always take a look at the deadhead to see how far I gotta go. Sometimes I'll throw that in there as a negotiation tactic, you know, so they'll know like it's not right down the street from me. I gotta really drive to go get this load. I'm like, yeah, I got a deadhead, 150 miles, but I can definitely be there on time. I can do it for X amount of dollars. Say, Trucking and Jay said, I'm thinking about quitting my job and going OTR for a month or so. What do I think? I think if you know that you can make money OTR, once you quit that job, you're going to be put in a position to where you're going to have to make that work. Like it should work for you, but you definitely will be telling yourself, I have to make this work now because I just quit my job. Versus holding on to your job and getting out there and kind of, sailing through OTR. But if you do decide I got to let the job go, let the job go. If you feel like you're going to make more money than what you were currently making at your job, go ahead and fire your boss, man. Go ahead and fire your boss. I take risks. I'm a risk taker, But I was also in a position, even running Amazon load, to where it was just making sense. I was in the barbershop before I left, before I retired from the barber business. I'm in there cutting heads. I got like 2 heads. I got my phone open looking at the load board. I see a load from Columbia to Charlotte, almost $500. And I got 2 clients waiting. I'm like, man, I got to get out of here, man. This ain't working for me no more. I'm missing money. Like I'm literally losing money sitting here waiting for clients to come in here. Well, I had a really great clientele. Like shout out to all my clients that's probably still hunting for a great barber, like how I was, blessing them with cuts. But shout out to all my clients, man. But I had to go, man. 28 years. It was time for me to get out of there. Freestyle said, I can't find insurance for a rental truck in California. Ooh, California is a different beast, bro. I don't know what to tell you about Cali, brother. I don't know what to tell you about Cali, to be honest with you. Try Progressive. Hopefully they'll do something for you. Yeah, I got my early access back, finally. Like the minute I dropped the video, y'all, later on that day, I saw that I had early access. When I dropped the last video I did, they gave me early access back. P. Daddy, Warbucks. Can we check Amazon load board for Temecula, California? I hope I said that right. Box truck, 2 made $700. Was that to Chad? Was that to Atlanta? If so, that was a good load. That was a good load. Yeah, man. That early access is something else, man. Thank you, Sonya. But y'all know what? The early access, I'm glad to have it back. But like I said earlier, if y'all wasn't in here, I was saying that when I ran that postal route last night, I just felt like I was doing a lot more work versus being over the road for the amount of money that Amazon pays you. Depending on, like I said, a lot of times depends on where your location is at. Depends on where your location is at. So location is everything with Amazon Relay. Yeah, I'll check the load boards in a second, yo. Give me a minute and let a few more people get in. Demetrius Featherson said, salute to you and thanks for the free game. You're welcome. What other trucks are known to be reliable other than the Hino? Everybody loves the Hino because it's like a Toyota. Now, I do love Toyota engines. They last forever. But any truck, whether you're getting a Ford, whether you're getting an International, whether you're getting a Freightliner, you'll hear it over and over again. Try to get that Cummins engine, Allison transmission. But if you do run into an International with a DT466 engine in it, that's one of International's most popular engines. That's the engine that's in truck number 1 that I have right now. But of course, we getting the overhaul. Nah, Mr. Spacely, I'm not cooking up. I'm not cooking up anything today. I should have been though. Freightliner is good. Internationals, Hinos. That's really what I'm mostly familiar with since I've been researching and doing, looking at the trucks and seeing what's what. Said Box Truck Bro just put up a video about new authority DOT audit. Have you gone through it yet? Nah, I haven't. I haven't watched it. Progressive quoted me $1,700 a month. Currently searching for lower rates. Well, Progressive not playing, man. Well, I don't even want to talk about Progressive right now. Every time I hear that name, I just think of a automatic payment coming out of my business account from Progressive. Said, what's a good state to start my trucking LLC? I want to pay low insurance and low tax on all other fees. What you suggest? I'm not sure about the state. You might have to Google that one as far as what states have the lowest insurance. But yeah, that is a workaround to get cheaper insurance. You definitely have to have that LLC set up in that state to get lower insurance. Do I like over the road better than Amazon? Yeah, yes. But I only like over the road versus Amazon. Okay, so let's say this. Before I lost my early access, let me tell you what the difference is. The only reason I like, at times I like Amazon versus over the road, but it just depends on what my goals may be for that week. So my goal may be, I need to make about $3,000 or $3,500, but still be home. So if that's my goal for the week, and before I lost my early access, I had ran about 5 loads. I had booked out 5 loads for the week. I actually had 7 loads for the week with Amazon. 5 of those loads were CLT4 in Charlotte, where they actually load my truck. And I drove those down to Hanahan, South Carolina. And I had to unload the truck. Basically, it was just the carts with boxes and stuff in the carts. And I just roll them off the truck. And I'm done. So I did 5 of those. And I caught 5 of those that was paying me $540 something for each load for each one of those loads. So that week I did $3,400, but one of those loads happened to fall on the check previously before that, so it ended up being about $3,000 gross. But running that allowed me to be home and to really be able to create more content. So that allows me, running that type of freight with Amazon, I don't mind doing that. But the postal routes is, right now, I'm not a friend of the postal routes. It's just like, it's more work. It's not hard work, but after going over the road and really not having to touch that freight like that, I prefer over the road versus Amazon in that situation, And when you're doing these postal routes, like my body started getting accustomed to, leaving out in the daytime, like normal people, leaving out in the daytime like normal people, and running those, running loads for the brokers or being over the road, I would catch those loads um, after my 11-hour drive time, rest for the night, drop the load off in the morning, or if it's straight through, I'll drop that load off and I will be done. But running Amazon postal routes, most of that stuff is going to be early morning, loading at 2 something in the morning. You're getting home around 6 something in the morning, so you're losing a little sleep. You're tired throughout the day. You might have other things you need to do. So you have to kind of get your body accustomed to, running on that type of schedule. So that's the only thing that I would say I really didn't like it as much. But when I first initially started running Amazon relay loads and I was doing the postal routes, it didn't bother me as much because I knew that's kind of like what I had to do, until at least my authority got a little more season on it. And I can come back over here and go to the load boards and negotiate and don't have, brokers basically trying to get super low, hit me with super low freight, cheap freight. It's like if I'm gonna run cheap freight, I might as well stick to Amazon. But so right now having early access will allow me to be able to choose. I'm really trying to wait and see if they show me those same loads Thursday or Friday, if I will see those available. And if I do see them available for the following week, I will book those same loads to run, versus going over the road. But, if I need to make a bigger bag, definitely over the road. Just that's the only way I'm going to make that type of money is going over the road, because Amazon running those loads can take up about half of my ELD time. So just depends on how I schedule those things out. So that's single questions. Did I miss some questions? Said, did the KMBC drop the ball by not adding the Expand 2 VST, the Velvet VST, and the Vacuum Pro VST to the Live and X? I don't know. I'm not even gonna lie. I still got to look and see everything that they did add, and I haven't even went through all of that stuff yet. Seth, what's good, family? Seth Nitty in the building. I see you, bro. Thanks for stopping through, my guy. So all I know is that you just have to have Amazon's requirements as a carrier. They're using a third-party verification company now. Of course, they're going to make a phone call to you. You have to be available to take that call because they're more than likely they're not going to call you back. So make sure you're available after you sign up to catch that phone call. Like I said, when I got started, I didn't have to do that phone call. They verified everything over the computer, sent you your congratulations, welcome to Amazon Relay, and all that good stuff. All right, so I'm gonna go through this thing and see if I can catch some load, not a load, but see, this load just popped up. This is similar to the load I ran early this morning. Pretty much just like the same load. This one is paying $3.75, only 64 miles. So I had to go to Charlotte, load the truck up, and I dropped this same load off. It's probably some of the boxes that I didn't put on my truck last night that they need to be moved tonight. But this is the exact same load I ran. I think it was, it was about, this one paying actually a little more, $3.75 a mile. Might have been the same load, but yeah. So let me show the screen, y'all. So I ran this load last night, Charlotte to Spartanburg. This is one of the loads that I did run. It's a little quick load. I actually have booked this load before it showed my my performance score back at 100. Like it hadn't showed me all the everything back at 100. So they really made me wait my 6 weeks, y'all. They're not playing about that. They are not playing about that. So you see how you see how I just clicked on that low, right? And you see all these West Columbias, the West Columbias. This is what happened to me before. I automatically saw this and thought that it was 26-foot box truck. And I went over and hit that button, y'all. And that was a wrap for me because I had to cancel it. So do not make that mistake. If you're in Amazon, go to save searches. Go in here. Put all your filters together. Make sure you do all your filters. And once you do them filters, save that search. Like I got here. See, I got all my saved searches right here. So all I do is when I come here, I hit Columbia, 100-mile radius. And boom, there you go. All the loads. Only 26-foot box truck loads will pop up. And I don't have to worry about hitting 53-footer loads by mistake like I did. Because I thought I hit that the last time, but apparently I did not. So, yeah. But that's the load that I ran last night. All right, so let's see what we can find, y'all. Let's see what we can find. Let's see what we can find. All 18 said, do I suggest a dispatcher went over the road? A dispatcher can definitely come in handy because if you're driving and you can't look at the load board while you're driving and a load does pop up, a dispatcher can come in handy. But usually what'll happen if I don't hear nothing from the dispatcher, I'm on the load board myself. Especially if I'm getting loaded or I'm getting unloaded, I'll pull out my laptop and I go on the load board to see if I see anything, especially if I'm in a city and I'm looking to get out of that city after I get unloaded. I'll be on there running. I'm like, yo, let me see what's on here real quick. And if I see something, I'm on the phone with the brokers. That's simple. That's simple. Oh man, that's have I ever thought about doing the same business in Africa or Dubai? For instance, hire a team to do the work for you. You just supply the trucks. Nah, I never thought about doing anything in Africa or Dubai for Amazon, no. But I think I could have sworn I saw an Amazon relay truck when I was over there. Not Amazon relay, but I saw an Amazon van in Dubai, if I'm not mistaken. I know I saw a van over there. Yeah. Says, can you find a contract? Can you find a contract through Amazon Relay? Danielle says, can you find a contract through Amazon Relay? Yeah, you can find a contract through Amazon Relay, but guess what? You need 5 trucks. This the contract work right here. Contracts. You see a lot of it says 53 footers, 53 footers, 53 footers. But for box trucks, you have to have at least 5 trucks to get a contract with Amazon to get dedicated routes. You may not get the best paying routes, but you can get a contract with Amazon for sure. Got to have 5 trucks though. So let's go back to the load board. All right, so what was the city y'all guys mentioned? I did see one up in here. Yes, I use DAT load board as well. DAT, truck stop, and now Amazon Relay is back in the mix. Because I couldn't really see much before. So that's a good question. That's a good question. When you deadhead, is that part of the ELD time? Guess what? That's a really good question. But typically, yes, because that ELD time is going to be ticking away as you head to go and pick up that load. Unless you went into personal conveyance mode, but I'm not sure how DOT would handle that if they pulled your log and you said you were in personal conveyance. Let's say if I'm out of town and I'm away from my home where I usually park my vehicle at, if I'm not going from getting off duty to going home to park my truck, that will be considered off duty, using my truck for personal conveyance to go home, versus me going to pick up a load and I have to deadhead to go pick up that load. That's going to be time that's coming off my ELD, my drive time. I am driving. So yeah, that's considered part of the deadhead when you're using the time from off of your ELD. So when I go load my truck up tomorrow and I leave my home base, I have to hit on duty because I am on duty going to pick up that load. It's a good question. Very good question. So yeah, that deadhead is going to eat up time from off of my clock. So that's why it's very important to know how much deadhead you're going to have to go to pick up a load, because if you have to pick up a load at a certain time and drop it off at a certain time and you run out of available hours, those are some things that you have to factor into your load or your time. As far as you have to be able to manage your time out there when you're on an 11-hour window of available drive time. And plus you have to take your 30-minute break. It's mandatory that you take your 30-minute break and be off duty, because if you don't, they're going to snatch up some of that. They're going to snatch up some of those hours. They're going to snatch up some of those hours. So yeah, that's a very, very good question. Deadhead is a part of your ELD time. So let me tell you what happened though. So when I was coming back Friday, I left. Where was I at? I was in Tanner, Alabama. I left Tanner, Alabama, heading to Duncan, South Carolina to drop off a load. I think I posted a snapshot of that on YouTube on my story, and I almost ran out of available hours. So what I did was I did a 16-hour short haul exception, and because I had available time left over, I was able to get like another hour and a half on my clock to get there in time to drop that load off, so I would not be in violation with DOT if they were to pull my logs. It gave me another hour and a half. I had an hour and 45 minutes left, an hour and 40 minutes left to get to the receiver. Had an hour and 45 minutes left to get to the receiver. I had to pull over real quick before I ran out of available hours. I used a 16-hour short haul, which gave me an hour and 50 minutes more available time on my clock, so that I would not go in violation with DOT. So yeah, sometimes you have to figure out ways to maneuver it, but you have to manage your time when you're out there and you're using your ELD. Because I'm telling you guys, you don't want to get caught and get put out of service because you riding in violation, or you heard somebody tell you to unplug your ELD. It's gonna read on your log that your ELD was unplugged, and you're gonna have unverified driving time that pops up in your log, unidentified driving on your log, and now you're gonna be looking at DOT like I don't know. Then they're gonna ask you, where's your paper log at for backup. So just so you can avoid some of those pitfalls, learn how to manage your time on your ELD. So if I would have went and ran a load today, and my clock started over, my 11 hours started all over again, the minute that clock starts and I go crank my truck up and I go into on duty status and run a load for Amazon, that 11-hour clock starts again. Even when I go off the clock, off duty, it's still going to tick, but it's just going to be off duty hours that's going to be ticking away until that 11 hours is gone. And then, well, after the 10 hours goes by and the clock resets, then that gives me a fresh 11-hour clock. So learn to manage that time while you're out there. It's important. It's important. Those are some of the things you got to take into consideration when you're running freight, or you're trying to run multiple loads. You got to take into consideration how much time you have left on that ELD. Let's see. Can you check Pittsburgh? Let's check. Let's see what's coming out of where, y'all. Pittsburgh. What's coming out of Pittsburgh right now? I mean, let's see. I'm acting crazy right now. I got that set up on Poster Truck. Let me go over here to Pittsburgh, man. There you go. That's within the 100-mile radius. All that's coming out of Pittsburgh right there. There you go. You got 22 results right now coming out of Pittsburgh. Today's Monday. Remember that now. Well, I can show you what's coming out of Florida for Amazon right now. What part of Florida, though? If you just said Florida, I mean, there's a lot of different parts of Florida. Let's do Jacksonville. Jacksonville, Florida. You see what's coming out of Florida right now, Jacksonville. Nada. Not a ting. Orlando. Nothing. Not a ting. Ever use Poster Truck? I've heard the window for arrival can be tight to make on time. So using Poster Truck, when you're dealing with Poster Truck, make sure you are available during the times that you put down there that your truck is available for. So if you just randomly put any time down there and you know darn well you're going to be asleep at 3 a.m, don't put your truck available for 3 a.m. You about to shoot yourself in the foot before you even get in the game. Good. Don't do it. Just be available for the times you put down there. Like if you put 8 a.m. till 5 p.m, you basically are putting your truck on call to get a Poster Truck order. So be ready. You're going on call if you do Poster Truck orders. They won't typically hit you. I mean, you might be within an hour. They give you a little time. You'll have some time. It's just that most people they forget what times they put down there on their Poster Truck. And then when you get an order, you're like, oh man, I forgot I even put a Poster Truck order in. You sitting down about to eat popcorn and watch a movie, and you didn't even realize you got an email from Amazon that you got a Poster Truck order. So you gotta stay on top of that. Greenville, I can tell you now, that's gonna pick up Charlotte, brother, or Concord. Yep, Charlotte. It's only one load showing up for Greenville, picking up in Charlotte, going to Manning, South Carolina. I'm gonna tell you now, that's gonna be a long ride for you. It's gonna be a long ride for you. And $2.26 a mile ain't gonna do it for you. Can you check out those Baltimore rates? Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore, Maryland. You see it? You see it. Showing one result. And then the next closest right now. Baltimore is picking up in Pennsylvania going to Jamaica, New York. That's going to JFK though. That's going to the airport. So $3.11 a mile. It's not too shabby. 133 miles. Got 79.99 miles a day ahead. That looked like a load I would probably run if I were up there. Would you book loads for guys with new authority under yours and charge a percent? Oh man, I would be nervous to book loads for people under my authority. No sir. I would be quite nervous. GMO asked me, would I book would you book loads for guys with no authority under yours and charge a percent? I've seen people do it, but I would be quite nervous to do that because now I have to worry about if you're going to show up, if you're going to be late, if you're going to be on time. I don't know what's going to happen. And then you're running under my authority, which means I have to add you as one of the drivers to my Amazon Relay account to dispatch those loads to you. So yeah, that would make me a little nervous, especially when I have all my scores are back perfect again. Because all it takes is me to book a load for somebody, and then they hit me up like, "Hey, something came up." Now I'm looking crazy. I can't do it. I wouldn't want to take the chance. Says, can you apply for MC and DOT number before getting insurance? Absolutely, I did. Mostly everybody does. Yeah, that's the way you do it. Yeah. You don't get your insurance until the last few days before your authority goes active, but make sure you already know that you're gonna you got a truck in the queue. Make sure of that. You are still on the clock. Yes, sir. Still on the clock. All right, what I miss? Nah, it looks pretty clear to me. Is it blurry for anybody? Can everybody see that? Let's go there. Looks pretty decent. I can see it. Let's go back here. DFS, good looking. Philly in the building. What is good? Said over the road is a strain. Daryl said over the road is a strain on relationships. The money is great, but there's a sacrifice. I'm a Class B driver. I drove in Manhattan for 10 years. Now laid off due to the pandemic. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, that's another thing. So if you're in a relationship, you know, if your lady or your guy's not rolling out with you over the road, you know, it could possibly be a strain. You got to make sure y'all good though. You know, like you said, the money is good, but you know, that's something else. DFS Blockman, good looking on that on the donation, bro. Appreciate you. Tom said, while you are at home doing another job, still goes against your hours of service. Yeah, that's the weird part. So, well, what happens is when you go off the clock, when you go off duty with your ELD, it immediately starts counting your time, you know, that you're off duty. Your 10-hour basically starts ticking. You know, it starts adding up your off duty time until it reaches 10 hours, and then your clock resets. Your 11-hour clock resets. 14-hour shift, 11-hour drive time. But some of that goes back into your a lot of that goes back into your, let me see, what is it? That goes back into your your available cycle time. So you get a 60-hour, I got a 60-hour cycle of available hours for like the week. So the hours that I don't use kind of collect back into that 60-hour cycle unless I use my full 11 hours for the day when I'm out over the road. And most times I try to pull over before I use all of that. So managing that, like I said, managing that time is critical, y'all. Maryland in the building. Boston, Massachusetts. Let's check Boston out. Boston. Check Boston out. See what Boston got. Boston got 6 loads up there right now. 6 loads. Y'all got a load paying $6.11 per mile for only 48 miles. That's not a bad load right there. 26 miles a deadhead. I'll take that $293.29 for only 48 miles. Easy. And that's facility to facility. See that? Facility to facility. When you don't see that P in there and all those numbers, those are postal routes. When you see that P and all those numbers, that's postal routes. But when you see a few letters and a number on the end, that's facility to facility. So you don't know whether they're loading you or you're loading. You have to ask once you get to the facility. Takenya Jenkins, what's up? How are you? How are you? Thanks for stopping through. AJ, Jacksonville got checked west side of it because you're going to see it, Jacksonville. What's coming out of Indianapolis? I'm going to check that real quick, y'all. Indianapolis. I don't know why it always does that. Indianapolis got 13 loads showing up there right now. Rates is kind of typical. Not the worst, not the best either. But looks like you can make it. You can make a few dollars. DC. Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. Right now, there's only 2 loads showing up, and that's got some deadhead on that. Got some deadhead on that one. See, I'm located in Charlotte. Would you start out doing over the road or Amazon? We'll go over the road to start and see how the Amazon routes are. Well, I started off with Amazon, and I did it the other way. I started off with Amazon for a few months rather. Most of my time was with Amazon. Then I started dabbling with the other load boards. Then I did OTR because I had no choice. Because Amazon pulled the rug from up under me for a little bit. So I had to keep that bread coming through. But it taught me a valuable lesson. Never depend on one source of income. Anyway. I did Pittsburgh already. Yeah, James, I did Pittsburgh already. You missed it. You're gonna have to rewind the video. Palm Springs, Cali. Palm Springs, California. Let's see what's out there. Palm Springs, California. Right now, y'all got. That's a nice trip right there. 424 miles. DCA 2, East Val, California, to UCA 1. So that's facility to facility. 424.1 miles. Box truck. $923, paying $2.18 a mile. Lori wants me to look up Hanover, Maryland. Let's check it out. I just got that text, y'all. Think my food is ready. I got to go eat. I'm about to look up Hanover right now. Hanover, Maryland. I know I put it in there, right? Where is it at? MB. Why is it? Oh, here. Wait, I say Landover. You said Hanover, Maryland, right? It's not popping. I don't see it. I know I got glasses on now. What we doing? Hanover, Maryland. I don't see it. I see Landover, Maryland. I don't see Hanover, Maryland. Yeah, I don't see it. But for Maryland, Hanover, Maryland isn't popping up for some reason. The southeast is pretty decent. It's pretty decent for box truck. Truck stop, DAT, Uber, Canada, Cincinnati, Charleston, South Carolina. Ain't nothing in Charleston like that, brother. Say that now. I could have told you that before I even typed that in. I ain't have to type Charleston in. No, sir. Zero for Charleston. Silent Money Productions. What's good, family? The Box Truck Couple. What's up? Christy, how y'all doing over there? Yeah, I checked Philly. Hey, y'all. My food is ready. And I know if I get one more text, all the lights might go out in the room. Yeah, exactly. Christy said it. Says makes you miss no touch freight only when you have to. Let me show that. This is what I was talking about. It says makes you miss no touch freight only when you have to load, unload, and break your neck to be on time. Lord have mercy, that's the truth. That is the truth. That's why I like to be an hour early, y'all. An hour early. I'm gonna check Silver Springs real quick, and then I gotta jump off of here. Cause I gotta get ready for tomorrow. I'm going to get ready for this load and get my clothes and stuff together for this road tomorrow. So Silver Springs is pulling up 2 loads right now. 91 miles a day ahead. $91 miles a day ahead. AJ said, whenever you want to OTR for hire, I live down the road from you. Let me know. I'm north and easy. You at low side. All right. I'm gonna check Westchester, New York, and then we're gonna be out, y'all. Westchester, New York. There you go. 3 loads popping up for Westchester, New York. Look at them rates though. $5.76 a mile, $5.28 a mile, $3.14 a mile. Not even that. You don't even gotta drive that far. And all of that's the most couple of those are from facility to facility. Yeah. Not bad. You're welcome, Lord. No problem. Westchester, New York. Yeah, I just dropped that one. So, guys, I thank y'all for coming to hang out with me. I'm about to go eat some dinner, and I should have ate earlier. It's kind of late, but I got something light tonight because I got to get up in the morning and go over the road. I'm gonna film this one, so I don't know how many days I'm gonna be. I shouldn't be out that many days, but I'm still gonna film it and put some stuff together for y'all for the channel. All right, so it's the homie Big Vic, man. Always hustle, never stop growing. Thank y'all again for coming through. We're on the road to 21,000 subscribers. Let's make it happen. And I will see y'all in the next video. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this on the channel. So if you did miss anything, it's gonna be up there. I'm gonna let this one hit the channel so we can go live. Well, y'all can see that. Y'all can play this live back if you missed any questions that I may have answered. All right. So one love, y'all.